welcome back. Alam niyo bang kamuntik-muntikan nang maging Celtic si Jimmy Butler at naging Nugget si Paul George? Well, pati sina Derrick Rose at Ricky Rubio muntikan nang magpalit ng kupunan. Pero hindi nangyari ang mga blockbuster trades na yan dahil dinaga ang mga teams at GMs nila. Pag-uusapan natin ang mga kaganapan sa NBA trade deadline. Kasama natin ang NBA.com Philippines Managing Editor, Adrian D, at basketball blogger na si Enzo Marcos. Good evening, guys. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
All right, trade deadline finally done. Everybody's relaxed. And there are some teams are excited. Some teams are ready to tank. But let's just break this down a bit. First of all, the big shocker on All-Star Game night, Pamandin. Boom and I were there, like, walking back to the... What happened? Boogie Cousins to Nola. We knew that this was bound to happen eventually, that Boogie would be traded. But what are your thoughts, Enzo, on where he went and how he's going to team up with Anthony Davis?
Yeah, first of all, you're right. It was bound to happen. Everyone from the Celtics to the Bulls was lining up for him.
Yep.
And he wound up with AD, and that's crazy. They're resisting small ball, and that's I feel like that it can work, but we'll have to see. I think AD will slide back to the 5, and it didn't work earlier because they don't have anyone else there.
And interesting, Alvin Gentry, who's the coach of the Pelicans, came from the Warriors, where he was part of the big system that made them win with small ball.
Small ball, yeah.
And yet he now is forced to. I'm sure it's a good problem to have two of the best big men in the game. AIDS.
They lack a lot of shooters. If you look at the game kanina, they're basically saying we're gonna double whoever, if it's Davis or Cousins who's in the paint, then we'll dare you to shoot.
They combined 50+ points, but.
And kanina, like those
awful.
guys on the perimeter were not able to shoot. So I think, like we were discussing this kanina off camera, like it's a good trade, but I don't think they will make the 8th seed. It's more of
not
like
now.
Not this season.
Yeah.
It's more of like preparation, get used to playing with each other. Para next season, then they can siguro make the leap.
Will this help them attract free agents or possible shooters
for sure.
surround them with?
For sure, I'm sure Corver would have worked there. I mean, someone like that.
Yeah,
And, I'm sure someone's going to be. People are going to be lining up to play with them. They're going to get all the space they need just to shoot. So
ego-wise, I mean, there's always been this talk that they're both from Kentucky and it's going to help them. This and that. He was kind of like AD's big brother for a while. Personality-wise, they're so different. Is it going to work out on the court? I mean, they played together in all-star teams, and I think Team USA as well. But can it mesh well in an NBA team?
Well, yung nickname nila ngayon, like on Pelicans Twitter, is like Cousins is fire
and
AD is
and I saw that horrible meme that I wish I didn't see. Look it up on Bleacher Report. Blades of Glory.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Or like, people were saying with the Pelicans na AD's kind of laid back, he's not really assertive, and adding Cousins can sort of bring that fire to them, like bring that angas factor. So in that respect, I think that might work.
Okay, and he can protect. He can protect AD. You know that he's injury prone. You know that people like to push him around. And with Boogie there, maybe the other bigs will think twice before they try to push AD.
Remember in the press con, they asked him how intense he'll be for them. He said 17 technical fouls.
Oh.
So we'll see if that adds up. All right. Now, interestingly, the team they played today was the Rockets, who beat them badly. And Lou Williams, the new Rocket, the newest Rocket from the Lakers, thanks to Magic Johnson, shipping him out for Corey Brewer was a big hit. Did you expect him to do this well right away?
Maury ball. I'm a Laker fan, huge Laker fan, so I knew that anyone who got him would be set because this guy can shoot, lights out. Catch and shoot, isolation, you're okay. So they just added another shooter to a team full of shooters.
And to think he was already doing well scoring-wise in an LA team that didn't have somebody like Harden who would command attention and attract the defense.
I think down the line, interesting 6th man of the year chase because you now have the two leading candidates on the same team. And obviously there will be nights where, Sweet Lou has the hot touch from downtown, and the other nights Eric Gordon has the hot touch. Right. And then of course there will be nights when both of them are shooting it from downtown, and those nights it's basically an automatic loss unless you can do something about it.
Now here's the interesting thing. This was, will you clearly say that this was a move for the Rockets that they're like, we want to win now, and we need to add another piece that will help us beat either the Spurs or the Warriors and make it out of the West?
I think that would have to be it. I mean, this is clearly an MVP season for James Harden, and D'Antoni's doing a great job. And adding another scorer, I think this is a win now move for them. And I think it can work, but I don't think they can beat the Warriors.
I think parang insurance policy kasi with the games where the Rockets lose, it's usually the games where Gordon has a bad shooting night. So basically, and we've seen, Gordon's injury history. We all know about it. He's kind of injury prone. This season, less so, but then having Lou Williams there for those nights when Gordon's having a bad game is vital for their long-term success.
Interesting to see how that develops. Okay, shifting to the Eastern Conference, PJ Tucker coming from the Suns, moving over to the Raptors, who joins another guy who just joined them, Serge Ibaka. So you get an interesting, dynamic now with the Raptors that chemistry will be an issue. We've got good pieces, and yet with 2 new pieces, not easy to fit in right away with 25 games to go to the playoffs. But these moves as well are trying to build the arms race to fight the Cavs.
I was just saying this off air that I'm so high on this move.
Okay.
I think PJ Tucker, no one can stop LeBron. No one person can stop LeBron.
Okay.
But he can help. He's strong. He has a mean streak in him. He's not trying to be buddies with everyone on the court, and he can shoot. So he helps the Raptors' cause. But again, I don't think they can beat them in a 7-game series. But it's going to be more interesting.
Considering what they gave up,
Which is not a lot.
Not a lot.
but I mean, adding the Ibaka today, they gave up Terrence Ross, and then even forgetting PJ Tucker. It's a win for the Raptors. Might not be now, but for down the line.
And what I like most about it is that they can finally play small. Because in the past, they were really forced to use Jonas Valanciunas a lot. But this time, you can put Ibaka at the center, and then you can slide him in at the 4 now. That helps them match up when the Cavs go small, when they go with Channing Frye or Kevin Love at the 5.
All right. Okay. Another interesting trade. Moving back to the West, naman, Dallas Mavericks got Nerlens Noel. His name was all over the talk because of the more than duplicity of big men in Philadelphia, and he was one of those guys that was really on the trading block. For him going to Dallas, how is that fit for him, and how is this a fit for Dallas giving up Bogut as well?
I think I think Philadelphia let go of the wrong big man. I mean, and for peanuts basically. I mean, Justin Anderson might not even play. You think?
And they're going to waive Bogut now.
They're going to waive Bogut. So I think it'll help the Mavericks. Adrian made a great point earlier. He said that Dirk can finally slide back to the 4. Right?
Because he's been playing the 5 now mostly with Harrison Barnes at the 4, so they can slide back to their natural positions. Siguro not having to play the 5 and banging against other big men, that will extend Dirk's health this season, so they can make that playoff run.
And he kind of plays like Tyson Chandler.
He does.
And the last successful year that the Mavs had was with Tyson Chandler.
So interesting to see.
All they need is a Jason Terry.
All right. We haven't seen him get that much burn, so we'll see. With it's all potential for Nerlens Noel, but we'll see what he'll get really in a tough Western Conference. Okay. Last but not the least on our list that you guys put up, the Thunder getting some interesting pieces. McBuckets. Doug McDermott's there. Taj Gibson from the Bulls giving up Payne, Morrow, and Laverne. How would you score this for OKC?
I think it's a huge win for OKC actually. The Bulls made this trade because they think that Cameron Payne can be like a point guard in the future.
Obviously, Rondo's gone.
Rondo's not gone. MCW's not cutting it. Isaiah Kanan's not that guy. So they're kind of banking on that hope. But if you're the Thunder, I mean, just giving up guys who are on the fringe of your rotation for such a hard-nosed player in Taj Gibson who can fill that gap now na wala si Enes Kanter, then adding a drop-dead shooter in Doug McDermott. So right now in Chicago, when he gets the ball, the defense collapses on him. But you can't do that when you have Russell Westbrook driving into the
So is this similar to the Harden with Lou Williams thing that you got a Russell Westbrook and now you got a Doug McDermott in the corner?
You see how they play against Robertson. They basically sag off of him all the way, and you can't do that to McBucket. And it's very interesting that they're opposites of each other. You put in offense for defense, and they have it now. The only bad thing for the Thunder is that who's gonna dance with Westbrook now? No one's gonna dance with him.
Dermot White Boy dancing.
He can learn.
They can teach him. Okay. Well, overall, spectacular trading deadline. How would you grade it? I mean, were these the trades you're expecting? First, names were on the list were Paul George, even Jimmy Butler. But how would you rate this one?
People were kind of spoiled in thinking that we would get a lot of big trades on this day. But when you think about it, I mean, the Ibaka trade last week, the Cousins trade a couple of days ago, basically the big name guys were moved earlier, not on deadline day. And I was looking at this article kanina, it was saying like 10 years ago in 2007, only 4 players were traded.
Only 4?
And no big names. So be thankful
so
na lang,
diba? Matuwa na tayo. For you, Enzo, does it, even the discussion with the Boogie trade, do any of these push the needle either way? Does it, change the the tide of where things are going in the East and the West.
It's more competitive, but again, I think it's going to be Cavs versus the Warriors. And as a Laker fan, I'm sad that when I was pressing refresh, I was hoping to see Paul George in that uniform, but
Well, hey, Magic made a call to Larry Bird.
Yeah.
That's a start. Who
Should be
knows?
interesting, should
But
be
then
interesting.
again, those big names will be free agents eventually.
That's right,
And
that's
that
right.
should make free agency very interesting a year or two down there. Okay, Enz, AIDS, maraming salamat to you guys again too. Thank you so
TJ.
much.
Thank you.
Hi guys, keep watching The Score for the latest sports updates and don't forget to subscribe to the ABS-CBN Sports in Action YouTube channel.